Gentlemen, your words are killing your relationship. You think you're being honest, but you're actually pushing her away. Most experts tell you to share everything. Open communication, they say. Be vulnerable, they say. But here's what they're afraid to tell you. There are 11 things that will make her lose respect instantly. But here's the truth that finally revealed itself. These conversations don't bring you closer. Therefore, they push her away. And once you say them, you can't take them back. This first one will shock you. Never cry in front of her about work stress. Never dump your daily emotional problems on her. I know this sounds harsh, but here's what happens. She starts seeing you as weak. Therefore, attraction dies. You become someone who needs fixing, but she wants someone who can protect her. Here's the psychology. Women need emotional strength from their man. When you're always breaking down, you're showing her you can't handle your world. Therefore, she loses respect. Get a therapist. Talk to male friends. But don't make her your emotional dumping ground. Now, this next mistake will destroy her confidence. Never tell her she's gained weight. Never say her outfit looks bad. Never point out what's wrong with her. She already knows her flaws. Here's what happens. You become the enemy. Therefore, she hides from you. She stops being open, but you're supposed to be her safe space. The psychology is simple. She needs to feel beautiful around you. When you criticize, you train her to be insecure. Therefore, she pulls away. Build her up. Don't tear her down. But this third mistake happens every single day. She tells you about her problems. You immediately give solutions. You think you're helping, but you're actually hurting her. Here's what she really wants: to be heard. When you jump to solutions, you're saying her feelings don't matter. Therefore, she stops sharing with you. Women process emotions by talking. Men process by solving. But she needs to feel heard first. Therefore, ask. Do you want advice, or do you want me to listen? This simple question changes everything. Now, this fourth one seems obvious, but men do it constantly. Never say another woman is beautiful. Never compliment other women in front of her. You think it's innocent, but it creates a wound that never heals. Here's what happens in her mind. She compares herself to that woman. Therefore, she always finds herself lacking. You've just created permanent insecurity. The psychology is brutal. Women are wired to detect relationship threats. When you praise other women, you trigger her fear. Therefore, she feels like she's competing. Make her feel like the only woman in your world. But this fifth mistake is a relationship killer. I'm too tired to talk. I'm too tired for intimacy. I'm too tired to connect. You say this constantly. But here's what she hears. She hears that everything else matters more than she does. Therefore, she starts feeling like a burden. She stops asking for your time, but then she resents you for it. The psychology is simple. She needs presence, not just provision. When you're always too tired, you're rejecting her. Therefore, she emotionally disconnects. 5 minutes of real attention beats an hour of distracted presence. This sixth mistake seems like honesty, but it's actually cruelty. Never tell her stories about your ex-girlfriends. Never share intimate details about past relationships. You think you're being open, but you're creating ghosts she has to compete with. Here's what happens. She wonders if you're thinking about your ex when you're with her. Therefore, she never feels like your first choice. She feels like she's competing with memories. The psychology is devastating. She needs to feel like your priority now. When you bring up the past, you make her feel replaceable. Therefore, she guards her heart. keep your past in the past. But this 7th point is the most dangerous. Never casually mention doubts about your future together. I don't know if this is working. Maybe we're not compatible. You think you're processing out loud, but you're destroying her security. Here's what happens. She starts questioning everything. Therefore, she either pulls away to protect herself or becomes clingy, trying to prove her worth. Both kill the relationship. Women need emotional security to invest fully. When you express doubts, you're telling her not to get comfortable. Therefore, she never fully commits. Work through doubts privately first. This 8th mistake attacks her core. You're being too emotional. You're overreacting. That doesn't make sense. You say these things when she's upset, but you're invalidating her entire experience. Here's what happens. She stops sharing her feelings with you. Therefore, you lose emotional intimacy. She finds someone else who will listen. But that someone might not be just a friend. Women process through emotions first, then logic. When you dismiss her feelings, you're rejecting her natural way of experiencing life. Therefore, she feels misunderstood and alone. Validate first, understand second. But this 9th mistake destroys your credibility. I'm going to start that business. We're going to travel the world. I'm going to get in shape. You share every plan and dream, but then you don't follow through. Here's what happens. She stops believing in you. Therefore, she stops believing in your relationship. If you can't keep promises to yourself, how can she trust your promises to her? The psychology is simple. Women are attracted to men of integrity. When you constantly talk but don't act, you show her you're all words. Therefore, she loses respect. Work in silence. Surprise her with results. This 10th mistake is even worse because it directly hurts her. I'll take you to Paris. I'll buy you that ring. I'll help you with that project. You make promises about what you'll do for her, but then you don't deliver. Here's what happens. Every broken promise chips away at her respect. Therefore, attraction dies. Without respect, there's no relationship. Without attraction, she finds someone else. This is worse than broken personal promises. Now you're disappointing her directly. Therefore, she learns not to count on you. Only promise what you can deliver. Always deliver what you promise. And this final mistake sounds romantic, but it's actually suffocating. You're my everything. You're my whole world. I can't live without you. You think this is romantic, but it's actually deep down terrifying to her. Here's what happens. She becomes responsible for your entire happiness. Therefore, she feels trapped. She can't have bad days. She can't need space. But everyone needs space sometimes. The psychology is clear. Women want to be chosen, not needed. When you make her your everything, you're showing her you have no life without her. Therefore, she feels suffocated. Be a man she wants to be with, not a man who can't function without her. Now, you're probably wondering why these 11 things are so destructive. It comes down to 3 things women need: security, respect, and safety. When you cry constantly, criticise her, dismiss her emotions, compare her to others, break promises, or become clingy, you attack all 3. But here's what most men don't understand. Attraction isn't just physical, it's emotional. When she feels insecure, disrespected, or unsafe, attraction dies. Therefore, the relationship dies. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being intentional. Your words either build her up or tear her down. Therefore, choose wisely. Gentlemen, your words have power. They can build the strongest relationship or destroy it completely. These 11 things will destroy it. This isn't about limiting your honesty. It's about being strategic with your communication. Build trust, security, and attraction. Don't create pain and insecurity. If this video helped you understand how your words affect her, let me know in the comments below. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons for more relationship advice that actually works. Remember, be intentional with your words. Your relationship depends on it. Thank you for watching.